Hello, my friend, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Daily. My name is Aaron Machbitz. The January 5th edition of Monday Night Raw was very, very underwhelming. This, again, was another overhyped show that underdelivered on a major level. This reminds me of WrestlePalooza back in September of 2025, which was hyped as one of the best PLEs of the year, and then it was very, very underwhelming. This 1-year anniversary show of Raw on Netflix, combined with Stranger Things, was a very hyped show. We had Braun Breaker and CM Punk. We had 3 title matches. We had potential returns and debuts, and we had Gunther, and we had all these things, and the show was very underwhelming. 2.5 hours. It was almost unwatchable. Now, I watched the whole show, obviously, but was also looking at reactions on the internet wrestling community via Twitter, and a lot of people were very unhappy. I mean, you want to take that with a grain of salt because the internet wrestling community is always unhappy. Everything always sucks all the time, and so you take everything that they say with a grain of salt, but I'm someone who looks at the optimistic side. Glass is always half full. I watched the whole show. There were some parts of the show that I really liked, but some parts of the show were very unwatchable and not very good. And I have to be honest about that. So let's start with some of the matches. CM Punk and Braun Breaker was okay. What really kind of ticked me off was the CM Punk promo right before the main event match, and it was so underwhelming. It was so unenthusiastic. It was just like, oh, I have to be here. I have to do this promo. Like, you're a fucking professional wrestler. Talking before your match or talking about your match is part of selling the fucking story. Now, I can't stand CM Punk, so maybe I'm biased to the fact that maybe that was sort of the vibe that he wanted to portray, that he was like, I don't care about this promo. I'm focused on my match. But either way, it was underwhelming and underdelivered. And then the match itself was also underwhelming, and they underdelivered in a huge way. And I think I'm probably just saying that simply because I really wanted Braun Breaker to win, and he did not win. And I thought the finish was pretty lame, considering Braun Breaker does this huge sort of crossbody clothesline thing through the table. He's fired up, everyone's jacked up, throws him right in the ring, goes to the spear. CM Punk hits this like weird knee thing that cuts him off the air, or cuts him out of the air, and then hits the GTS to go to sleep. And CM Punk barely had his shoe on. He just got thrown through a table. He looked absolutely gassed out of his fucking mind. Like, just not very good. I just don't understand why CM Punk is the guy. He's too old. He's too old to be the world heavyweight champion. If he wants to be a fighting champion who defends the title every single week, every live event at WrestleMania, he just can't do it. He got his chance to main event WrestleMania. Sick. Bucket list. Check it off. You got yourself, you're a two-time world heavyweight champion in this current run in WWE, and that's good. Pass it off. Pass it off to Braun Breaker, who, yes, is not totally, completely ready to take over the mantle as a top guy in WWE. I see that. But the only way he's going to get there is if you give him the title and you allow him to sink or swim in that moment, especially with the Vision in his corner and with Paul Heyman in his corner. Now, if he was totally on his own, I definitely don't think he would be ready just yet. But I think with all the supporting cast around him, I think he is ready. And I think WWE, again, did not make the right decision not putting the strap on Braun Breaker on this January 5th edition of Monday Night Raw. But that leads you to think there are now potential candidates to win the Royal Rumble. I think there's 5 potential candidates to win the Royal Rumble. You have Braun Breaker, LA Knight, Sami Zayn, Gunther, and Roman Reigns. Those are sort of the 5 top picks you can probably assume are going, one of those 5 is going to win the Royal Rumble. I don't think Gunther needs it. I think he should either wrestle AJ Styles or Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. No need for a title. I don't think Roman Reigns needs to win it. He can just announce who he wants to face, which will be the WWE Undisputed Champion, and hopefully that's not Cody Rhodes. Hopefully it's Drew McIntyre. And then you have the claim of, the big heel Braun Breaker winning because the Vision helps them win, or you have 2 big-time babyfaces in LA Knight and Sami Zayn win. Now, it depends on who's champion, which most likely at this point seems like it's going to be CM Punk, who takes the World Heavyweight Championship to WrestleMania. I don't really care to see a Braun Breaker CM Punk match. I would really like to see an LA Knight Braun Breaker match. And maybe you get a Sami Zayn CM Punk match. Babyface. So those are some of the options now that that match has happened. CM Punk is still champion, and we have that moving forward. So that was sort of the biggest thing. I mean, I think the best thing that happened on this episode of Monday Night Raw was the fact that we got a Gunther and AJ Styles exchange, and we're finally going to see AJ Styles versus Gunther, first time ever in Dusseldorf, Germany. And you bet your ass that Gunther is going to get a babyface reaction, and so is AJ Styles. That crowd is going to go nuts for this match. They're going to sing both the entrance themes, and the match is going to be fucking awesome. Hopefully, this is like the first sort of teaser tester match in many matches. Potentially a really, really big WrestleMania match between Gunther and AJ Styles, which I'm almost positive to say would absolutely steal the show and be the best match of the weekend, potentially both nights. And so I'm really fired up about that. I think that's the best thing that happened on Monday Night Raw. The Liv Morgan Lyra Valkyrie match was mediocre at best. The Becky Lynch Maxine Dupree match was horrible. Maxine Dupree absolutely took a regression last night. I thought she was getting a lot better, and she has gotten a lot better. So I don't want to discredit her hard work and her effort that she's been putting in, and the fact that she has gotten better. But last night's match, or the match on January 5th, Maxine Dupree versus Becky Lynch, was atrocious. It was a really, really bad match. And I think Maxine Dupree is kind of done from that scene. She had her title run. Don't know what's going to happen with her now. But Becky Lynch needs an actual challenger. She's out there wrestling Maxine Dupree and Nikki Bella, and it's sort of ruining her credibility. And so Becky Lynch is probably the greatest women's wrestler of all time. And she can only do so much with these women that are incapable of performing in the ring, like Maxine Dupree and like Nikki Bella. And then the show kicked off with a women's tag team championship match, which I thought was going to be better. But those four women also underperformed and did not execute to the best of their ability. So the whole show itself was very subpar. C+, maybe C. Very disappointed in the fact that WWE didn't pull the trigger on Braun Breaker. Now, maybe I'm missing sort of the golden nugget here that something cool is going to happen because of this. Now, Braun Breaker is eventually going to win, of course, but it should have happened last night. So maybe I'm missing something, missing a story, missing a piece. But I just can't stand CM Punk and don't think he needs to be champion. And then we got AJ Styles, Gunther. That's going to be delivered next week, which is fucking awesome. And everything else on the show was very, very mediocre. And I don't really get the collaboration with Stranger Things. I know they're both on Netflix, so I guess that's what it is, but it doesn't really make sense to me, and so I thought the whole show was very, very mid. Some parts of the show were completely unwatchable, but I tried to highlight some of the best moments there. But let me know what you think in the comments down below of the January 5th, the 1-year anniversary of Raw on Netflix, and then like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Lots of love. Cheers.